internationalinvestor.com's daily brief. The answer to your question is learn the goddamn process, trade your trading plans, don't take too much risk on any one trade, and just let yourself get rich.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Rational Investors Daily Brief. This is Julian reporting in from Bangkok. Maybe the last report for maybe a week or so. I'm not sure how long, but next week going to be in Vietnam. So I don't know if I'm going to have a camera. We're going to be in a different environment. Maybe I'll bring the camera, maybe not. I might look into using like my phone. We'll see. I'm definitely going to try to bring the mic because last time I didn't have the mic, it was hard to do like a pro show. So I think I will try to bring this mic. But everything else should be fine. Just no, maybe no camera. Last time on camera, make the best of it. If you want me to strike any poses, get it in now. Speaking of the market, unemployment rate on right here, unemployment claims came in below, and the market responded very favorably to that. As we can see, we're taking off here. This is a big area that we're kind of pushing through. Very bullish. If we can clear 53.60, I mean that's going to be huge move to the upside. And then possibly we put in my final expected move to the upside before the top in possibly September when the Fed starts raising rates. I've read reports that the Japan carry trade that potentially caused this sell-off have already mostly been unwound. So no more pressure from that on the market anymore. Now we're looking at, okay, when are we going to get pressure from not rates raising, but lowering rates, which usually precede a crash. And employment claims spiking, but as we can see, employment claims came back in line again. So I don't know. I don't know how much we can trust some of this stuff. We have to kind of watch and use technical analysis to decide where the future is. I mean, technicals pretty forecasted that crash pretty well. I talked about it last week, and I talked about the possible scenario for us to drop and then drop lower, and both of those things happen. So now we're going to look at, okay, how high can we go? Are there going to be any potential reversals? By the way, hi Omar, hi BB, hi Gills, hi Lucas. The show, we do it live, so try to interact. Any questions you have, I'll try to answer. The reason we do it live is to interact with you guys. I mean, that's the main reason. We may be changing to a bit of a pre-recorded format to have some more formal videos, but we're still going to keep always doing the live ones also as well. Hi Rocky, good to see you. Always good to see the same people. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. Okay, so let's get into things. Repurchase agreements. You know that I like to talk about this. Look at what they did. So they had, when this crash happened, they started to drain down the funds. So I think these were drained to help support the market. Now we're down to only 286 right now. When this goes to zero, there's no more support from repurchase agreements. I think they were saving this for this potential kind of crash scenario and then try to save it from crashing too far. Just enough to liquidate people. They pulled it back just enough to liquidate people. You can especially can see that with Bitcoin. We're going to go into Bitcoin and the liquidation levels and how 48K was a massive liquidation level. I was posting about that a lot. I posted, this is basically the bottom, and that was the exact bottom. I not to toot my own horn, but I called the bottom. Which was a good feeling. All right, so let's go. Let's take one more look. Let's look at, they changed the max pain thing. Let's see what max pain is for this Friday. Okay, so this website is all a mess. I don't know what happened here, but we're gonna look at this and see that 530 is max pain for expiry tomorrow. Where are we now? We're at basically 530. We're pretty much at max pain. What about on SPX? I normally look at SPX, as you guys know. Yeah, pretty much the same, 530, so 5,300. We're right at that max pain level. So the market just has to sit here, and market makers will win again. They always do. You can't beat them. Yeah, sure, guys. Thank you, human biomass. Why is everyone saying thank you for the show? Did I say something, or did Brian say something? Why are you guys all... Okay, well, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you also. Okay, so let's get into this. I like to go from the higher time frame and work my way down. Let's go with a monthly chart and go from there. So I talked about this before, how we had a 9 come in on the monthly, And often these 9s have preceded tops. So this shouldn't be really a surprise that we got a big pullback here. It happened later, actually, than I expected. I was expecting a pullback earlier, so it took a little bit of time. And we can see here, look at this. And I've talked about this before. So between 2022 top and the 2024 top, well, potential top, you've got this big downtrending divergence. Look at that divergence. That is not a good sign. There's waning interest in this market as we climb the wall of worry over the years. This is just a longer time frame. The question is, when do we finally top? When's the big top and we get that massive pullback? That's the real question. And then if I was going to look at this and say where would be my buying zone, I would use fibs and I would just do this. And I would go all the way back to 2019, which is pretty much the lowest level. I mean, you could go all the way back to 2016, or you could go to all the way to 2008. But I like going back to 2019, 2020. I like this COVID wick level and using that as levels. You can see the last time the market rolled over, we only went to 61.8 and we bounced right there and we respected. These levels were quite well respected. Let me see, actually, this should be like that. And this should be, try to get it perfect. Yeah, just like that. So what I would expect is if we get really that Armageddon crash, we're going to come all the way down here. That's the area where I'd really get interested in the market. I want to see a true boom, boom, boom Armageddon crash, and we're down here and we sit down here for a while. The question is, when does it happen? I'm thinking it depends on who wins the election. I think if Trump wins, they're going to crash the market. I think they will do everything they can to make Trump look bad. That's what I'm seeing. I mean, you can see now that, and I don't like to be political, but I think it's important to look at politics in the terms of how it will affect the market. And you can see how the media machine is really supporting Kamala Harris. They went and they were supporting Biden before, and then suddenly after that debate, if you can call it that, between Biden and Trump, the media turned immediately on Biden. And they were like, Biden is bad, you know, this is not going to work, so on and so forth. I mean, obviously they didn't say Biden is bad. They used better language than that, but you get my point. And the media machine just started, and then Biden mysteriously dropped out under strange circumstances. And then suddenly Kamala Harris is now the new candidate. And now the media machine is working overtime to say how she is way better than Trump. Now, if you think that the media is your friend, then you should probably vote for Kamala. But if you don't, and again, I don't want to be political, I'm just saying, just critically think about it. If the media machine you feel is your friend, then you should support who they're supporting. But if you feel the media machine is your enemy, then you kind of should think about who you want to support. Because oftentimes the enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? That's the famous saying. Anyway, I don't want to get political. I'm going to change it. I'm just saying that that's a potential scenario that I could see happening. If Trump wins the election, they might crash the market. Maybe even if Kamala wins, they might crash the market. But this is not something that can happen overnight. This is going to take a while. This is going to take some time. And as of right now, I mean, as Lucas said, the trend is your friend. The trend is still up, right? There's no real downtrend yet. You would have to see some kind of MACD reversal here. You see the change right there, right here. And this was where we had our trend to the downside. Oh, and that was it. And we had the whole trend, and the trend didn't actually change though until you were all the way up here. So monthly is pretty slow. You've got to use something a little bit faster. That's why we're going to go down in time frames. So 2 week, right? We're still heading higher, but you've got this double top basically here where you've got divergence. I'm going to get rid of, I'll put that. So we kind of have that line right there. And we've got this up line here. We're going to move to a weekly chart. I'm going to get rid of this. MACD's turned negative. RSI is broken down. Here was our uptrend. And we've had a major reversal over the past week. This is a very bullish reversal. I do like seeing this. However, I don't like that we're below this trend line. We're below this trend line. We're below my heuristic channel. MACD is negative. RSI is negative. Everything's negative. All we've had is this basic bottom. and no full reversal yet. Look at that. Nothing crossing the RSI. We've got to push above 5,300 to really say, okay, we're back kind of in bull mode. Right now, this is just a rebound. That's all this is. It's a rebound, and it's not full bull mode yet. And I highly recommend being cautious here. Right there. So you need to see that cross, and we need to see, Brian would say we need to see this W out. And if you get the W, then boom, that's your potential chaos move all the way up to 5,900, and that's the move I would like to see. I want to see this. I want to see boop, rejection. Okay, try again, reject. Actually, we would take out these lows and then reverse. Go up here, reject, come down, tag this again, do this, something like that, play around here, squiggles, maybe go backwards in time, and then move up and tag up here, maybe even tag 6,000, okay? And then when everyone's super bullish, maybe we'll tag just here before 6,000. We won't even get to 6,000 because everyone will be waiting for 6,000. So instead of tagging 6,000, we go to just 5,900, which is a chaos level, okay? And then that's when the real rug is pulled. You'll have massive divergence forming. Everyone's super bullish. Everyone expects 6,000. They're like super crazy long. And then war breaks out. Some event happens to drive a decline that makes this decline look like a kid's party. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So, be prepared for a potential move like that, but understand that until we're on the other side of this RSI line, there is potential that we could just reverse and head lower. That's it. I am currently playing this on the long side because I do believe in this scenario, but I think that wait one second here. Wait one second. I do believe that adjusting my lines, that this is probably going to head higher, and we're going to get that scenario, pull everyone in bullish after making them crap their pants. That's like double the liquidity loading, right? The market makers need a lot of liquidity and a lot of time to unload their positions before they can really crash the market. So you need moves like this, where okay, everyone sold, okay, bought back, this, that. I read earlier today, I can't remember if it was yesterday or today, that something like retail traders sold over $1 billion in stocks at the lows, while hedge funds bought something like 14 billion. They were all buying. So take that however you want to take it. That's got to tell us something. And fear, the fear metric, right? So fear was, or we were at massive levels of fear. I think actually in despair land. Let me pull that up. Let's see. Fear. Fear. What is it called? Fear gauge. I don't know why I can't think of fear and greed. Fear and greed. Why can't I think of that today? Fear and greed index. Let's see if it pulls up crypto. Yeah, crypto, fear and greed. And we'll just pull up the normal fear and greed. Oh. Yeah, so look, extreme fear. 20. Still extreme fear in crypto. That's the perfect time for the market to go higher while people are scared. Market also extreme fear. That's the time to bounce. We're right at this 125-day moving average. See? And we can also look at liquidations. I think this, I'm going to, you know what, I will finish on the S&P and then we'll get into crypto. I'm getting a little bit distracted here. Let's go back to the charts. So hopefully that makes sense why I'm kind of bullish here. But again, understand this is a risky area. MACD is still negative. But I'm looking for that move higher, and I am long from approximately down 51, 5,200, this kind of area down here, and expecting that move higher. But it could take a little bit longer. We could get a pullback. Going into Friday, tomorrow, it should stay around this area. It according to the options expiry, but just understand that it's not always right. It's not. You can just get like just this and then a move up, or you could get that. Anything can happen. But statistically, which is what we like to go off of as analysts, usually the market will close around the area where it's max pain. Okay, that's S&P. Are there any stocks or anything you guys want to look at? I mean, I talked about TLT and how TLT had this major breakout on the weekly chart. And you can see how it's reversed, but it's still above this trend line. So understand with TLT that this breakout is a big deal. And I don't think it's a fake out. We could sit and maybe just slowly crawl down here while the market hits that new high I talked about before we finally launch higher. But this is a genie that we cannot put back in the bottle. Like TLT bouncing like that, I've passed these massive trend lines. I don't see how that can't be a very bullish sign for bonds and a very bearish sign for the rest of the market. Unless it's a massive fake out, but I don't see it. So understand that this is a warning sign. And if we look at VIX, okay, here, like this, all the way up to 65, and we reversed all the way to 25. If you shorted VIX up here, you made a lot. Or if you longed VIX down here, both scenarios would have made you a lot of money. But you can still see it's very elevated and no breakdown yet. So you're still in kind of like risk area. See this? RSI uptrend still intact, just starting to break down. Right there. See that? Starting, just starting. If we push higher, see how the VIX will also break down? It all works together. I'm going to look at silver really quick. A lot of people are interested in gold and silver. So silver had a massive pullback here. Look at a weekly chart. Massive pullback, but still in an uptrend. This was the pullback I was looking for in silver. I was looking for this area. And on a daily chart, it looks like it's starting to reverse. We've got a nice divergence with MACD. RSI does not have the same divergence, so that's a little bit disconcerting. Actually, why am I looking at silver? We should look at the futures. Yeah, see, that gives you more data. Look at that perfect W bottom. There you kind of have the divergence where price made a lower low, but RSI did not. MACD is making a clear reversal. Silver futures 80,000. So confusing. Where is my, we're just going to use what I usually prefer to use, which is XAG USD. Just not the futures, but it's nice. Okay, much better. So see, I had the alerts in this area. This was the zone I was looking for. I don't like that RSI is not matching up and creating that divergence, but MACD is. And it's part of the reason why maybe I should switch to using futures rather than, this is basically a CFD. And I think it's not as accurate. But you can see on a 4-hour, we already reversed and are breaking out higher. I think if you're interested in silver and you're a silver bull, this might be a good area to consider longs. This could be, your zone. Maybe wait for a little bit of a pullback. You can see we're overbought all the way up to the 1 hour. On the other hand, we could just continue higher. Very bullish on the 1 hour chart. Extremely bullish. I would even consider looking at this range where it points to basically $30 that silver could move up to. And I'm talking about silver because I think it has more room to run percentage-wise than gold. So it could be a better investment. But do understand that if the markets truly roll over in the future, gold and silver will also tumble at first. And then later they'll do better when governments step in and start printing money and things like that. So it's not a protection. It's not a protection against a crash. It's not. But as of right now, it looks okay, which makes sense because it kind of trades with the rest of the market. It's not as much of a protection as people think. Not in the short term, at least. It's more of a long-term protection against money printing, and that's it. It's not a protection against market crashes. Okay. I think I want to look at Tesla, and then we're going to go to crypto. Let me see how much time we've got left. Is there anything you guys want to look at? We're 20 minutes in. So this is Tesla. Definitely still in a downtrend on this 4-hour chart. See how we had a 9 that came in and we paused right above this kind of uptrend area? Not a surprise there. Daily struggling. Daily looks a lot like crypto and a lot like the S&P. I think Tesla's kind of just following the rest of the market. However you are, getting divergence with MACD. Not confirmed obviously yet, but you are getting a big difference between price and MACD. So that's kind of, that helps. But you're in risk area. But when you're in that risk area, that's often the best time to buy. That's when you get the best deals. So, if you like Tesla, consider it. If the rest of the market follows through with pushing through that 5,300 level, then of course Tesla's going to follow too. That's really all you need to know. Okay, so crypto. Everybody's interested in crypto. With that in mind, we will bounce over to Bitcoin and talk about what's going on over here. Weekly chart. All right. First of all, Bitcoin. It's a very messy looking chart by me here, so we're gonna clean up a bunch of this stuff. Okay, clean that up. Clean that up. You can see we came down and tagged our 38.2 of this entire range. Right, there's the whole range from the bottom to the top. And actually, it should be like this. That's the entire range. And we tagged that 38.2 and had a massive reversal. If this isn't a bullish weekly reversal, I don't know what you would call it. But it looks exactly the same as the S&P. It really does. Let me go back to show you again. Weekly. See? Bullish reversal. Looks the same, but you did get a breakdown. And if we go here with RSI, it's the same. You did get a breakdown, and MACD is still bearish, but you are kind of Wing out. This is basically a W. And can we reclaim that uptrend? And that's what I'm kind of looking for, is this reclaim. And on the daily, I mean, it honestly looks pretty good. This looks more bullish than the S&P. Like, you had a daily, so you had the 8 and 9 come in right here. And you might be wondering, like, what am I? Let's go back to a weekly. Why do I have these lines here? Well, I'm trying to create and symbolize a bull flag. This is like a bull flag formation, which is inherently bullish. And, you could say conservatively that it could be an ABCD. And that was your low tag right there. And next target is 98,400, right before 100K. Like, everybody's waiting for 100K and we just get 98K. Wouldn't that be hilarious? So that's kind of what I'm seeing. This is just a massive bull flag to shake people out before the final, next move higher. And I'm not saying when I think that will happen. I'm not sure. But we need to move on the other side of this trend line right here. Right, like that. In the short term, we can go to lower time frames, right? So like an 8 hour, clear breakout on the downside. Here was the bottom. You had a nice W if you looked at the 15-minute chart. I'll show you what happened. So on the 15-minute chart right here, you had the crash scenario, massive volume here. Massive volume and huge amounts of liquidations. I'm going to show you the liquidations. I'm going to close Discord actually because it's causing me some issues. Okay, I think it's closed. All right, now things are a little bit faster. Where is my browser? Okay, Bitcoin liquidations. So look at this. This was the crash right here. We tagged 49,000. So look at what happened here. You had 64 million in liquidations and then 57 million. And when I saw this, and there was no this was less than this one, that told me, okay, the liquidations are coming to an end. There's not much further we can go. We're getting divergence between price action and number of liquidations. You can look for divergences everywhere, honestly. This is one of those areas. So that was the first thing that showed up. And then I was like, okay, let's look at RSI. And you had RSI putting in clear divergence all the way down. Right here. Boom, boom, boom. That was the last one. And this is where we went long. Went long here and went long here because of these obvious divergences. And you can see with MACD on a 15-minute chart, very obvious area for divergence. We not only had a maximum amount of liquidations, anything over 50 million is pretty crazy. So then you just look for the next biggest one as it's happening. And you look for divergences in your indicators like MACD and RSI. And we were at this 38.2 level. This was a big location. So we had location, okay, 38.2 retrace of a major rally, and then divergence, so momentum, and then finally structure. You had a W, and I added on the W breakout. So this was initial buys down here, and then added on the breakouts. And up here, actually, I took profits, and then I got stopped out of, and then I was long again down here, and I actually got stopped out. So that was annoying. It happens. I'm not perfect, but not in Bitcoin. Some altcoin longs. Yeah, but we got a bullish, nice recovery. So this looks great right now on a lower time frame chart, but I would temper bullish enthusiasm until we move a little bit higher and the S&P has cleared that 5,300 level, because I don't think it is my opinion that crypto is not in control here. It's traditional markets, and whatever happens with traditional markets is kind of what's going to happen with crypto. Like that's it. There's nothing. I wish it was different, but that's what I'm seeing. Is that crypto is just being controlled by the traditional markets. So if traditional markets roll over, crypto is not going to do as well. And you can see even now markets are rolling over a little bit, and then look at what's happening with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's also rolling over, and then the altcoins are going to pull back. So altcoins are going to pull back. They cleared the highs just here, like Rune just cleared it. Solana is just going crazy. I wish I could pull up. I have on my other browser, but I don't have it on the TRI one. I should have moved it over. A chart that somebody posted on Twitter that was really good, showing like some of the top names that took off. And it's interesting to look at that, because then you can see, okay, who are the big movers? What are the sectors? So one of them was Solana. Solana had a massive pump, huge percentage move. Another one was Popcat. So meme coins did really well. There were a lot of meme coins that went up over 50%. So those were a couple things. That's all I can remember off the top of my head. I wish I could. Let me see if I have it on my phone. I really wanted to share with you guys about that. No, I don't have it. It's too bad. I don't have it on my other browser. Sorry, guys. Okay. BB asked for ETH. Let's go ETH. Sol got an ETF spot approval. Oh, really? That's okay. So maybe people were front running that news. They knew about the ETF approval. That's really surprising. Okay, thank you for that information. Let's look at Ethereum. So 9 on the daily. We should bounce from here. That makes sense. And retrace to major support level, right? Also makes sense. Let's actually look at a weekly really quick. Yeah, weekly's not good. See this weekly? This is not good. This is not what you want to see. This was really, really bad. So you need to see even more of a push. This needs to go like up here, 3,000, to get rid of the damage that happened here. And that's how bad this was. Daily looks okay. I mean, we're pushing higher here. Lower time frames. I mean, this looks bullish. Major breakout right here. That, as long as we keep pushing higher, Ethereum could do really well. There's your W, perfect W, with target at 3,400, which would basically clear these old highs. Maybe even push up to 4,000. That's what I would like to see. On these lower time frames, it definitely looks good. This is a nice potential long here. So you could even take a long right there. So your stop. Maybe go all the way down here. I think it's too long of a stop. But then you come up here, that's your target. So that's only a 2-to-1. So then we go all the way up here, and then we've got a 3.4-to-1 trade that could work out very well if you wanted to take it right here, or you could hope for a little bit of a retrace. And then suddenly you're at like a 5-to-1 risk reward trade. But just understand there's a pretty big risk you might not get filled. Something to keep in mind. It looks good. This looks great here on a 4-hour or 8-hour chart. I really like this. I did long some Ethereum. I longed more Solana. But if this can keep pushing higher, it's going to be very bullish. And the MACD looks extremely bullish. So of all the coins we've looked at so far, I like Ethereum the most. XRP, I don't know what that means, but I can look at XRP. Really, I don't know if it's, oh, wow. What happened with XRP? It's like barely pulled back at all. XRP might be having a massive breakout. The highest it went before was $1.60, so it's already pretty high at 61 cents. Needs to break out of this downtrend line, but on RSI it looks extremely bullish. It's pretty impressive, believe it or not. Let me look at a monthly. This is your like consolidation range for XRP. So if that's your range, then potentially the target is here at $1.50. That. Nice level, right? You could get triple off that if it finally breaks out. It's decent. I don't know if I'm going to long it because who knows how long that could take. You're still subject to actions of the rest of the market, but from a higher time frame perspective, it looks really good. I like the RSI breakout. I like that MACD is positive. Healthy looking momentum. I want to see us clear this downtrend line, but once we do, I mean, I can see it moving higher very, very quickly, well over $1.25. Settlement news. So okay, yeah, I guess there's a lot of fundamental drivers right now. We actually have a lot of people watching. Hello, 38 people. Hi everybody. Communicate, interact, ask me questions. Feel free. Maybe we'll go a little bit longer today. Seems like a lot of people are watching, so we'll go through any names you guys want to talk about, and we'll just kind of do it a little bit more public this time. So AVAX from Grega. Let's look at AVAX. I forgot to put my air conditioning on. It's super hot. Hi Michael, welcome. Don't be shy. Feel free to ask questions. Oh, AVAX. This was painful. Imagine being in AVAX and up $60, like just a couple months ago, and now it went below 20, and then you sold it when it went below 20, and now it's bouncing. Imagine how much that probably hurts. I'm gonna put my air conditioning on. I'm crazy hot. All right, air conditioning is on. Hello. Oh, we lost 2 people. See what happens when I stand up for even 10 seconds. Oh, one more back. Yes, I'm on the screen. Hello in the corner. Okay, AVAX. Painful, really painful. Let's see first of all how far we retraced. This was the low. And we retraced right into basically our buying zone, right? I always say 78.6, 88.6. That's the area I want to buy in. And that's where we came into 78.6. Didn't tag that 88.6, but we came in, we hit that 78.6 level. Great buying area. Even now, it's still not a bad area. It shows how far we've fallen. This weekly chart. Look at this. Look at these fake out moves. So many fake outs. Look at that downtrend line. Boom. Oh, I'm bullish. Oh, reversal. Fuck you. That's basically what happened right there. Yeah, but we're still above the downtrend line, actually. And now, see, we made this lower low. We're reversing on the daily. Looks good. Weekly is looking like it's trying to reverse. Slight divergence on a 3-day. And a 12-hour, right? It's the same as all the other coins. Breakout. breakout. This is a breakout on the other side. And this is your little W. That's all this is. The problem is that this is basically my little W here. Just that. Just like that. And that's all I've got. Target is here, 29 bucks. So really not, and actually I want to reel this in. Be a little bit more conservative. It's just $28. That's it, which is just going to get you back to this range. We spent a big part of 2024 summer in. So it's not like a huge thing, but right now it's bullish, at least on these lower time frames. But understand these higher time frames are not super happy just yet. But you can ride this higher until it runs into a major resistance. Maybe you hit 28. Maybe we only get to 26. It could be just a dead pat bounce. But again, like I'm gonna, you know what I'm gonna do? We're gonna look at the total, and I'm gonna talk to you about it from that perspective, because really all of these coins kind of move the same. You get a different percentage, but the direction is the same. It really is. You don't, I mean, everything kind of moves in the same direction in crypto. You're not as diversified as you think. It's just the percentage that they move. So be careful when you're like, oh, I'm diversified. I'm in crypto, but then the whole crypto market crashes. Well, what do? How do you protect yourself? Do you have puts? Maybe you have puts. Do you have some kind of short, leverage short that you're always in? I mean, you need to understand that you have two paths, okay? You can buy a ton of names and just make sure to sell half on a double, do the little old lady approach. But the thing is, you have to make sure you sell, and you have to make sure you buy when we're at the bottom of the cycle, not midway through or at the top. Then you're fucked, right? Or you trade like 2 or 3 coins. Add some leverage in a little tiny bit. 2, 3, 4x. Maybe do coin M if you have Binance, if you're expecting a bull. And then you just manage those positions. If you're not good at managing positions, then stick with little old lady. Or you manage those 3 or 4 positions, and then you can hedge them when you expect downside moves. I think we're in the fuck you part of the cycle. So that's the part where it goes up and down a lot, and people lose money because they take too many trades. This part was the boring part, and then this part is the fuck you part. Maybe we look at a market cycle chart, and we'll talk about that. I think that's a good question, market cycles. So this one, right? Like looking at the psychology of a market. Okay, so let's make this a bigger one. How can I make this bigger? Okay, an image. Maybe I'll blow it up. Okay, so this obviously right here, anger, depression. This was here, and this whole area, right? And then we got, this is a suckers rally, disbelief, all the way up until here, basically here. And then we got the hope. And honestly, we're restarting this cycle. I don't know. I think we've done this whole cycle, and now we're going to have to restart it again, maybe. That's what I'm thinking. Or we had this pullback, and then this is the bounce, and then it's going to be something. But I don't think so. I think we already got the shit panic capitulation, and now we've got to go through this area here before we then move up again. But I'm not really sure if this applies still. If we're talking about crypto specific cycle, I think Brian has kind of gone through that and answered those questions. I have no idea. I really don't. I think we don't really have cycles like we had before. I think it's going to be a totally different environment, and that's because of the involvement of Wall Street. So markets, crypto markets are going to be at the behest of Wall Street. So if Wall Street is injecting capital and liquidity, we're going to head higher. If they're not, and they're being restrictive, and stocks are going down, we're probably going to go down too. Cryptos are just, think of it as like a derivative on stocks. That's kind of how I think about it. And I think it's very important to pay attention to monetary policy and what's happening in traditional markets to help make decisions with what's going to happen with crypto. I think it's all kind of interconnected at this point. Crypto's not like its own little thing playing around by itself. Now there's other kids on the playground that are bigger, and they're in the same playground as you. Before, you were in your own separate little pen, like over here, and now you're all together. And if those kids are angry, you're fucked. And if they're happy, you're having a good time. That's basically where we are, I think, in my opinion. Yeah, so I kind of like what I'm seeing here. I mean, you can see that we made a lower low with AVAX, but RSI did not. See that? You got a very slight up trending line. Very, very, very slight. Like 1 point higher. That's what I like to see. And you had this big liquidation wick right there. Now I want to see more volume coming in. I don't like that the volume is seemingly anemic here. It's really not. This is a low volume. That's not what we want to see for a recovery. So that's another issue that I'm seeing. Hopefully that makes sense as far as AVAX. See, we're getting this pullback. Why are we getting the pullback? Because the rest of the market's pulling back. Everything's kind of doing the same thing. Okay. Lucas asked, how do you manage positions and how would you calculate hedging a short? Okay, so as a very simple example, you could take whatever your major coins are and you could send them over to CoinM futures on Binance, and you just do a 1x short, and that's it on the whole thing, and that's your hedge, right? You're exactly short what you're holding. So your holdings of the coin should go up, but the dollar value will not change. And then when you think we've hit a bottom, we have some kind of capitulation crash, or you close it, and that's it. And then you're out of your hedge, and you just use 1x. You don't use any higher leverage. That's an example of a simple hedge. There are other ways to do it, but for this stream, I think that's the simplest proposal I can make. BB asks, when do you think S&P could crash like you were talking about earlier in the show? Yeah, so I mentioned potentially September. Really, it depends on what the Fed does with rates and what happens geopolitically. I think there's a lot of moving parts here, but ideally, I would like to see that scenario I outlined where it's like, okay, we make our way up slowly, or we have some pullbacks, and we eventually get up to like 5,900, 5,800. Everyone's super bullish again, and then there's some kind of geopolitical event, and the rug gets pulled out. That's what I'm looking at happening. I think the unemployment coming down was an anomaly recently, and maybe it'll be fine for the next couple months, but I do think unemployment is going to spike, and we're going to get some massive unemployment numbers soon. I think this scare maybe will cause some employers to start firing employees that they were holding on to, and they'll start firing. And then while we're climbing up because unemployment is fine, eventually over a couple of weeks, those employees will start filing for unemployment, and we'll see that spike happening. And then markets usually do very poorly September, October, November timeframe. So I would look for that crash to happen there. I mean, Brian always says they don't call it the fall for nothing, right? That's the time when the market rolls over completely. No, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Let me look at the total. Yeah, let's look at total. Oftentimes I find total provides better insight than anything else. So yeah, if you look at the total, similar to Bitcoin, we could just say that this is a giant bear flag here. Look at this. Right. There's your right there downtrend. There's your downtrend. And this is just the market retracing before the next move higher. Right? Hopefully that makes sense. That's all this is. Oscillating before we move higher. And this is promising on the weekly, getting it like a W like this. This is actually bullish. I want to see something like this. I want to see continued recovery. I need to see RSI on the other side of this downtrend line, and then I can feel especially bullish. Keep in mind, right here, if we go all the way to the lows, keep in mind that we've only retraced to basically the 50% level. If we get up here to the 78.6 and 88.6, understand that there could be a reversal where we pull back and then we move higher. We could get a rejection from this area because we could be in a range. So just keep in mind, if you get up here, that's a warning of like, okay, maybe consider profits, taking profits, things like that. What's my timeline for BTC hitting 98K like you outlined? BB, I have no idea. If I knew the answer to that, then I am a wizard and I would be living in probably one of the biggest mansions in the world. But I don't. So I can only try to answer so many questions and give my viewpoint with the information that I have available to me. Time frame, I don't know. I'm not sure. Suitor, glad you agree with Bull Flag. Yeah, if you need the exact date and time, maybe go see a psychic, and she can guess for you or tell you, and then you can ask her why she's not living in a mansion. Okay. If you look at AR, I think it might look different than the rest. R. Okay, I don't know if that's a joke or not. I think it's a pirate chain. Pirate chain USDT. Okay. Oh, look at this. Wow, look at that. This is not something I think I want to trade. Yeah, it's looking bullish though. Nice potential reversal here. Look at that. Looking good. Maybe we could get a nice move higher on the pirate coin. I'm guessing it's a meme. Target something like 42. No. I mean, if you're into pirates, maybe consider buying some. Just to keep in mind, this is Wild Wild West. Almost venture capital level, sometimes worse. Be careful with coins like this. I don't know if it's a good idea. Oh, wow. Guys, we're at like 47 minutes. I can't believe it. Is there anything else? Privacy coin. Oh, wow. Well, it looks good on a daily chart. Honestly, it does. I have no issues with this coin. I don't know anything about it, but from a technical perspective, it looks solid. And I'd like to see a breakout on the other side of this trend line, but as terms of RSI, it looks great. I like what I'm seeing here. Yeah, look at that. Just need to push higher on the RSI. Okay, so any last questions from you guys? Otherwise, I'm gonna call it. I think no after party today. I went for 48 minutes on this live stream, which was too much value for public people. And we might be winding down these live streams a little bit in the future. We're gonna start kind of going back to our roots and doing more daily briefs for our members, because everyone watching that's a member of TRI, just so you know that we really appreciate you guys. Also, if you guys didn't click that like button, click the like button. Click it, like, subscribe, all those things. Every day, daily briefs, either me or Brian. Thank you, Rocky. Appreciate that. All right, Kujira. We'll look at Kujira really quick, and then I'm gonna call it. I will get some sleep because I have to get ready to go to Vietnam tomorrow. Kujira, Kuji. Let's look at Maxi. Maxi really has every coin. Wow, look at that retracement. Oh my god. Wow. $5 all the way down to 50 cents. That's amazing. So it retraced all the way to the original lows. Yeah, I mean, this could have great potential. Nice washout here. I mean, there's just too many things almost in buying locations. I would need to look into the fundamentals on this. I can't recommend it or say too much. But, I mean, it looks like a nice buy. I mean, it went all the way. What did it wick to? It wicked below the lowest of any low. Look at that volume spike. People got destroyed. So many long-term holders got taken out. Just understand it's still kind of in a downtrend on the weekly, but it's actually oversold. Once you get a breakout on the other side of this weekly, I mean, this thing could take off. I'm actually going to add an alert. It's for bar RSI, create alert. These lower time frames look decent. I mean, this 8-hour looks decent. I would love to get a pullback and buy down here, like 40 cents right here. I'm gonna set an alert, another alert for this 40 cent area pullback. If I can get it, and then I'm gonna actually put an alert also above 60 cents. Very interesting coin. I'm gonna look into it. Appreciate Grega, you bringing that up. I do think I remember Sjord mentioning it before, but I like it a lot more now that it's on a massive discount, 90% discount, I think, right? Let's see, price range from these highs all the way down. Yeah, it's on a 90% discount, 90% sale, everybody. So, but do your research. That's what I'm saying. Do your own due diligence. I don't know anything about this. I'm just saying from a technical perspective, if I saw anything on sale for 90% that has this kind of history, I would look into it. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm sure Sjord's talked about it also. Maybe I'll just ask him. I would just ask his opinion, and then maybe I'll cherry pick a little bit. Okay. That's it for me, guys. Next time you'll hear from me, I will be reporting in from Vietnam after eating lots of pho and bun cha and other delicious things. Vietnamese coffee, love it. So good. Coconut coffee, egg coffee, avocado coffee. All the coffees, amazing. I have to like restrain myself or I get coffee headaches in Vietnam because I get too excited. Anyway, as always, take time off from the markets on the weekend. Exercise, spend time with your family, all those important things. Life is not only about making money. If you're not a member of TRI, consider joining. Free trial, all that stuff. We're redoing our Discord process. Look for a really slick, updated Discord in the near future. We've got a professional redoing the whole Discord. So that'll be pushed out very soon. We're also potentially bringing on a new developer who's going to help slick up the TRI site, fix a lot of bugs. And we're also looking at hiring a potential research assistant to help with macro analysis that we're going to be doing and coming out with more macro blog posts in the future. So a couple things we're looking to do. If you're interested in the research position and helping out with that, feel free to @ me on the site or put up a support ticket, click support, enter a ticket, say you're interested in the research position, and I'll get back to you. It's not a highly paid position, by the way, but it would be a great way to interact today, guys. And I will see you next week. All right, bye, everybody.